Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel Hack the Word Cybersecurity. In this video, we'll go through authentication and different types of authentication, and we'll see what is the difference between authentication and authorization, and we will also see examples for each types of authentication. Let's get started. So in simple terms, authentication is the process of verifying who a user is. So while authorization is the process of verifying what they have access to. So basically, authentication verifies the identity of the user or a service, where the authorization verifies what level of access the user have. For example, when you go to airport, you show your ID to authenticate your identity. So that is authentication. Or maybe you show your Aadhaar card or any government approved certificates to enter the airport. That is authentication. So once you enter the airport, there you show the boarding pass to board the to board your flight, correct? That is authorization. So you are authenticated to enter the airport with your government proof, but you should have a, a board pass, that is authorized board pass to board your flight. That is authorization. To give a more technical example about this, for example, you log into a system, for example, Amazon.com, using your username and password. That is that authentication. But within that application, what level of access you have? For example, Prime members, Amazon Prime members will have a different level of access. A normal user will have a different level of access. That will be decided by the authorization. Okay, let's see different types of authentication. We have password based authentication, we have multi-factor authentication, we have token based authentication, and we have certificate based authentication, we have biometric, we have single sign on. So basically password based authentication means like user enters username and password to verify the identity. For example, you go to google.com, correct? To log into your Google account, there you enter your username and the password, correct? Yeah, this is an example for username and password as an authentication. Multi-factor authentication (MFA), it is also same. It requires two or more independent ways to identify users. For example, you enter username and password in a Google account. So again, it will send an OTP to your mobile, correct? So if you enable two-factor authentication in the Google account, so it will happen. So you need to enter username and password as well as OTP. So it basically strengthens the security. And we have a token-based authentication. Example. So basically, user will enter the credentials only once. Once he verifies with the credentials entered, he will get a token. So using the token, he can authenticate to the system afterwards. So only he need to enter the credentials once. So no need to enter it every time. Uh, Token-based authentication example is RESTful APIs. So when API makes a request, so they basically authenticate using the tokens. Yeah, certificates-based authentication. Basically, user will provide a certificate to the system so that it can authenticate. It can identify the user identity and grant the access based on that. So the certificate, digital certificate, will have the user identity information. It will have the public key, and it will have other information also. So for example, if you are authenticating to a server, like you can do that using certificates. I'll show you the example. For example, I'm connecting to this server 192.168.79.129 using the SSH. I can basically authenticate to server this server using the certificate. I have configured this server to authenticate me to using the certificates. I can just click enter. It will basically takes the certificate in the system and tries to verify with the server. So once it is verified, it will allow me to access the server. Currently, you can see that, right? I have the access to the server. This is certificate based authentication. And we have biometrics. Biometric authentication, it relies on unique biological character of individuals, for example, facial, speaker recognition, eye scanners, fingerprint scanners, eye recognition. So it relies unique on unique biological characters of the individuals. Again, we have single sign-on type of authentication. So basically, user enters credentials only once to gain access to a multiple application. For example, one company, if the company have multiple applications, so no need to enter credentials for each applications. So you enter the credentials for only one time, and it will grant you access to all the application. So that is single sign-on. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel to watch the quality content. If you have any questions, queries, please contact me on hackthewordmbb@gmail.com. Thank you.